Hi everyone, I'm King Robert Muller, and this is how I get in college and learn new things that change my perspective in life. I grew up in the small town of San Francisco, Agusan del Sur. When I was a child, I wanted to be a billionaire, so I dreamed to be a manager or a teacher someday. I do believe in that time that managers can be billionaire because my mathematics teacher told us her son makes a lot of money by this profession abroad. She told us you might be manager someday to make a lot of money. That's why you need to learn mathematics subjects. That's the reason I want to be a manager someday. I dream also to become a teacher someday because a lot of people says that teacher have a big salary and money. Yeah, that's true. I thought it was. Since I was a child back then, I dreamed to be a teacher. When I was a child, I am too ambitious to the point that I even apply myself the works of those professions to my neighbors. I make yama to sell it to my friends and make money from it. I thought that manager is the same with business, so I sell yama and to feel that I am a manager. I also teach my friends and neighbors for free to feel that I am going to teach it someday. So I should to learn how to teach. Among of those two, I realized that teaching is my favorite one. I love teaching my neighbors and impart my knowledge, even if they don't understand what I am saying. Then the time goes by, and I was senior high. I took ABM course because I thought that I will still pursue business related to my college. I just encounter those subjects. I realized that I am not happy and enjoying. In that time, I tried to volunteer some organization that helps to get through and help you to realize that teaching profession is for me. At that time, I'm volunteering in the remote area, and our mission is outreach program and at the same time teach younger generation about what's happening in surrounding. When teaching them, there's something deep in my heart that I love teaching, and teaching is the best for me.
When I graduated senior high school, with no hesitation, I look for every university that offers teaching vocation. Luckily, I was accepted in Nicaragua State University, one of the high standard school in our province. I have no regrets of choosing my vocation, even if it's harder than I thought, but I still want to pursue. As I studied here in the university, I learned a lot. One of these is ADUC 108, the teacher and the school curriculum course. We thought to be good teachers someday, and I just want to share things that I've learned in this subject. As an aspiring teacher, we taught to be diverse in all fields, but in able to be a dynamic teacher, you must know your strengths and weaknesses in order to distinguish your capabilities in handling the students. I learned three major topics that have significant motivation as an aspiring teacher. These are curriculum foundation, philosophical sources, the idea of curriculum foundation, psychological sources, and the concept of curriculum foundation of the rule of teachers. These three has a big impact in shaping myself to embody the role of teacher in the near future. As a future educator, it is very crucial to know what kind of philosophy you would imply to your students. By learning educational philosophy, a teacher would be able to view and analyze from the perspective of their students. A apart from understanding why students are behaving in a particular way, teachers will also be able to know how students perceive their actions. There are 5 major philosophies in education. These are perennialism, realism, idealism, experimentalism, and existentialism. First, perennialism. A philosophy of education relies on the past and success traditional values. It emphasizes the knowledge and has stood the rest of the time and cherished values of society. Realism, a philosophy of education, argues that we inhabit a world, an objective order of reality that we come to know. Idealism asserts that reality is essential, spiritual, or ideational, is one of the humankind's oldest and most enduring philosophies. Experimentalism, also known pragmatism, based on the change process and relativity. Learning process occurs as the person engages in problem solving, which is transferable to a wide variety of subjects and situations. Existentialism stress individual and personal self-fulfillment, make choice, and thereby define themselves. In this topic, we also discuss about the philosophy, preference assessment, and truth the test. The philosophy preference assessment is one of the great methods in defining your potential and ability as a teacher. The result should help you to determine what kind of educational philosophy technique you're comfortable with. Before the test, as I read the philosophy, I jumped to the conclusion that maybe I'm experimentalist kind of teacher because I love experiments. I thought so because based on the result of my philosophy preference assessment test that I took, there are educational philosophy that would reflect me of who I am, and some are way too far from my perspective as a future educator. One of my high score in assessment is perennialism, and lead me to the conclusion that maybe I am kind of perennialist teacher in the near future. I do believe that this type of perspective and outlook of a teacher is within me. I always seek for unchanging spiritual truth and essential pieces of knowledge. After perennialism, the philosophy of idealism next to it. In my perspective, I am quite surprised because I never expect that idealism is one of the philosophy that would have a big score. I thought it was my least. Then, followed by the 3 philosophies, which is realism, experimentalism, and existentialism. See, lesson learned. Don't assume unless otherwise gets stated. Next topic that I want to share is the Curriculum Foundation Psychological Sources, which talks about learning theories. Learning theories describe how the real world changes our behavior, knowledge, and understanding. Behaviorism focuses on how actions or behavior change, any action that can be observed. This means that behavior is determined by the forces in the environment. Constructivism is a method that students building knowledge by adding the prior knowledge they have. Because as a learner, you should teach yourself new information, and the teacher is mainly for support and guidance. Cognitivism focuses on the mental activities of the learner. This means that learners should actively engage on the conceptualization of learning process. It is a response to behaviorism that the learners should participate to their learning. The next topic that touches my heart is Curriculum Foundation, Role of Teachers. The role of teachers to the school is to be effective and to give knowledge to the students. Teachers are also responsible for learners' development of all domains. Teachers' role in the school is to give and provide effective learning to their students. Teachers must be flexible if all changes happen. Curriculum should work as one for the better and effective learning. That's why I salute all teachers doing their best in their fields. Thank you, ma'am and sir. When I first stepped into the world of being a student teacher, excitement blended with anxious to learn. I thought being a student was hard, but I realized that being a teacher is much harder too. I have learned a lot as my journey unfolds. I realized that learning is not just about teacher teaching scenarios, but also a lifelong thorough investigation, experimentation, and research on how to improve the system of learning, so that lesson would be bearable to the students, and this is the major role of curriculum. I learned that curriculum extends its hands and make ways in providing a promising tomorrow to each stakeholders with high excellency and with good moral character. But this won't matter without dedication and implementation from the teachers. No one learns when there's no teacher. But let us all put in our hearts and minds that even if curriculum and teachers are good, if we're not focused enough toward in our studies, all their efforts would be gone wasted. We should always be cautious, show eagerness to learn, adapt, and be responsible. In our status quo, we are encounter a lot of challenges amidst pandemic. As an aspiring teacher, I will utilize myself to inspire other students to keep still in this pandemic. I know that this happened for a reason. An educator must be diligent, determined, and hardworking, and I'm ready to motivate other students to change the world for the better. Because I believe that this is the door for a brighter future and for next generation. With the help of educational philosophy to define myself, I can be able to help other people with courage. As I end this journey, a new beginning comes, and this is my story, and this is my journey. Thank you and goodbye.